Happy Sunday, everybody. We are approximately 5 weeks away from Election Day, arguably the most critical election our country has seen in decades. Now, that said, I'm going to be pushing this political conversation just a little bit more. Now, look, I've got friends in all parties, but the one thing that we can always agree on is the conversation and the dialogue, and where that conversation lands is always the most critical part. Now, this is something that I've certainly not done in the past, so I'm going to go big. You guys know me. If I go big. So, guys, I had the opportunity to sit down with Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris to talk about a number of important issues that we're facing as a country. I thought it was a great and extremely productive conversation that we had. And as a registered independent for years now with centrist ideologies, I do feel that Vice President Biden and Senator Harris are the best choice to lead our country, and I am endorsing them to become president and vice president of our United States. This past January, approximately 9 months ago, my old man died, and I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him, but he always said that respect is given when it's earned. So you got to get out there and you got to earn it with your own two hands. And that was my very first question to Vice President Biden and Senator Harris. And that question is, how will you earn the respect of the American people once you're inside the White House? Here's that conversation. Truth and progress through humanity. I like the tie-in there of what Vice President Biden and Senator Harris said about truth, because as we all seek the truth, and as we all want to do our best to speak truthfully to each other, it's not to confront, it's not to hurt, but it's to make progress. And to me, there's a lot of ways that we as a human race can make progress, but the most powerful way for us to make progress, to me, is through humanity, is through decency. Progress through humanity, progress through decency, through equality, progress through kindness, because kindness matters. I appreciate you guys joining me in this conversation here, and there is much more to come.
So that was The Rock endorsing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as his presidential ticket for 2020. And without hyperbole, when I think of a celebrity endorsement that could have an impact, and a big one, this has to be right at the top. Not only because The Rock is absolutely a gargantuan name, one of the best known celebrities in the world, but it's also because he's not seen as an explicitly political person. Someone like Oprah, for instance, has a big cachet when she makes an endorsement, but she pretty much always endorses the Democrat. So it's like, okay, it matters, but you sort of expect it, it's baked in. The Rock identifies as a centrist, as an independent, hasn't really done this before, and so by doing it now, it has a massive impact, and it's going to mean something to a lot of his supporters. It's going to mean something to a lot of people who know him, whether it's from wrestling or from movies or whatever, to go out and vote for Harris and Biden. And I think that this is important. And I think what this shows is not only the tent that the Biden camp is building. They have a very broad ideological tent they're trying to build, which is, of course, a challenge. But I think this says more about Trump and the Republicans. I think this endorsement is actually less about Biden and Harris being good, even though that's what it, says throughout. It's praising Biden and Harris. It's more about Donald Trump and the Republicans and their failure over the last 4 years in particular. That people like The Rock, who have never done this before, feel the need to do it now because Trump and the Republicans have alienated so many. That people who were basically silent on mainstream electoral politics now feel the need to jump in because Trump and his sycophants have made things so bad for so many people. That, and I'm not trying to romanticize the Bush era or Romney era Republicans, but a lot of people honestly believed that they were doing what they honestly felt was best for all Americans. That whether or not you agreed with them, a lot of people thought that they had generally a good head on their shoulders, and two, good hearts in their chest. And too many people, and I think this is accurate, don't believe the same about Donald Trump and the Republicans around him in the Congress, in the Senate right now. And I think that's pushed a lot of people who were on the fence or weren't explicitly political in their day-to-day lives to be more political. It's people like Taylor Swift, who never really made political statements before 2016, but has kind of been forced into being a political actor because of what we've been seeing. Attacks on the Postal Service, attacks on LGBTQ people. Taylor Swift has become political, not because she's become any more radical, but because Donald Trump has made it so dangerous for so many people that she respects and cares about, including people in her fan base. And so I think this is a massive boon for Biden and Harris. I do. I really think this is huge. Celebrity endorsements are often scoffed at, but this is The Rock, one of the most famous and beloved actors in Hollywood. Everyone seems to love The Rock. I don't know anybody who hates The Rock. Conservative, liberal, socialist, whatever. Everyone seems to at least be okay with him. That matters. But this really is a sign that Donald Trump and the Republicans have gone so far against the will of regular Americans, trying to preach to their 35-40% hardcore conservative base, that even people like The Rock can't stand on the sidelines anymore. And I just have to say one thing, guys. If there's a celebrity who could say, I'm running for president and win right now, it would be this guy. So don't doubt the fact that The Rock has maybe made his long-term political decision, and when he runs, he's going to run as a Democrat. And again, 10 years ago, maybe that wasn't the case, but under Donald Trump, you're not going to get people like The Rock to support you.